Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Am I the A-hole? Story 1. AITA for calling my friend disgusting during a time I was supposed to be supporting him. My friend James 24 is struggling with his girlfriend. They've been together for almost 3 years but he has gotten increasingly unhappy. He asked me to get coffee yesterday so he can do some venting. It's okay, I vent to him too. It's a cool perk of our friendship. We were drinking our coffee and I was letting him talk and he brought up her weight pretty quickly. I admit she has gained significant weight since they began dating. I believe James said she's gone up 3 or so pants sizes. James was saying how he does love her, he finds her plenty attractive still, and enjoys bedroom time very much. But then he started saying the problem is how it makes him look. He said he doesn't want to be the guy with the heavy girlfriend and he hates when he goes out with groups of people and girlfriend is the biggest girl there all the time. He says he's not really sure there's a good way for him to bring any of this up too. I got mad at what he was saying. His GF is one of the sweetest humans I've ever met. I know she deals with some mental health irregularities as well that probably contribute to her inability to lose weight. I told James that he's a total asshole dick face and I didn't meet him to listen to him fat shame a wonderful woman. I thought the problems were deeper. I told him we were done and went home. He's blown up my phone, half apologizing and half saying that I agreed to hear him vent so I can't get mad at what he's venting about. I'm torn on if I was in the right to cut our vent sesh short. Story 2. AITA for not wanting to talk on the phone all the time with my wife. I have a long commute. Whenever I'm driving, I like to listen to music and to my audiobooks or podcasts. The thing is, my wife calls a lot and wants to stay on the phone for 30+ minutes each time. We do not have a long-distance relationship, we live together. I'm often on my way home and will be spending the rest of the day with her, but she still wants to be on the phone as I'm driving home. When I show signs of wanting to hang up, I can tell she gets insulted and upset. I understand she just wants to tell me about her day, but I'm going to be home in an hour. Can I just listen to my audiobook? I don't know how to express this to her without hurting her feelings and that's something I don't want to do. My wife just wants to talk to the person she loves and I'm over here wanting to do otherwise during my commute. Am I the asshole for that? How would you handle this? Story 3. AITA for asking if she'll choose a different movie to watch. My partner and I recently started doing monthly movie nights. We'll both pick either 1 or 2 movies, go out and get popcorn and some drinks, order a takeaway, etc. We've really been enjoying them since it's a nice way to watch movies that we wouldn't have otherwise seen. For this month I told my partner what I had chosen and she had decided to choose a recording of a concert. I asked if there was anything else she wanted to watch since it wasn't a movie and it's nice to have a night watching movies. I said I was happy to watch the concert the night before or after. She asked what my problem was and I just said I like watching movies for the plot and a concert just isn't the same feeling. I repeated I was happy to watch it another night with her but for movie night I'd rather watch an actual movie. She said I was looking down on what she wanted to watch, which isn't correct, otherwise I wouldn't have suggested watching it another time. She said she shouldn't have to change her mind and that it was a film and said I was being unfair to her by not letting her watch what she wants. AITA for asking my partner if she'll choose something else to watch. Story 4. AITA for not wanting to help my injured friend roommate. TLDR, my roommate broke her toe after going out for bouldering. I've went out of my way to help pick her up her crutches, order her food/cook for her, pick up her deliveries and clean up after her. I was there to cheer her up when she got upset about her injury and started to cry. We were super close friends, that is, I really consider her as a close sister than friend. However, yesterday, she invited her friend to our place, and asked if I want to order something from the same restaurant they are gonna order. I said yes, and ordered a tom yum soup, and offered for pickup. But I was still at the office, knowing I won't be back till 7, her friend picked up for us. And on my way home, she texted me that they actually ate up my soup, that there was nothing left. Didn't know how to react, I honestly was in disbelief, thought she was joking, and after confirming that they really did, I said I'm good, just gonna heat up some food in the fridge. And she insists to order another tom yum soup. I said no please, she said she already ordered. Then when I came back home, feeling upset ABT the forced generosity, I didn't laugh when they explain ABT how they ended up finishing my food, that the soup was great I should try it when it arrives, I honestly couldn't care less. Then when her friend ABT to head out, the order finally arrived, she asked me to pick it up, laughing as if it's something funny. Her friend asked if there's anything they can do, she said it's okay just put their used dishes in the sink. And guess what? Playing the poor me card, I will have to clean up their shit. I figured that I just can't take it anymore, asked her to clean up her stuff while I clean up the piled up garbage mountain. We haven't been able to clean them regularly BC I am off work most of the time as it piles up. And I cleaned it up literally 3 days ago. And she acted as if she is in great pain while cleaning up stuff. I said, you are making me uncomfortable, and she answered, that's the point. I put that bag of tom yum soup that arrived late to her fridge section, and refused to drink it when she offered to heat it up for me. I said no thanks, and again the forced generosity she said she already heated up for me SMH, and I just left it on the table. This whole thing just makes me so uncomfortable that I simply can't bear to spend time with her in the same house anymore. I want to try spend most of my time at my friend's place or just find a cafe shop and get home as late as I can lol. I know she needs help but I don't want to burn myself to keep others warm. AITA? She's clearly in pain but I don't want to help at all. Story 5. AITA for accepting the suggestion and not coming back ruined a family dinner. I'm known in the family to be a control freak about preparing food. In fact, in my family, there are 2 dinners in the year that all members come, in all 30 people, and before I took over, all dinners were extremely late, there was always some problem with seasoning or poor preparation. I'm organized and for every meal, I have a spreadsheet with everything I need to make a huge-scale dinner. At first, they didn't respect it, but after seeing that my method was useful, everyone joined in and allowed me to be the head of the organization. Since then, dinners are ready on time, everyone praises and repeats the dish, not very common. It's 1 to 2 days for preparing meals. I don't ask them to help me, because I know I'm serious with organization, but if the person wants to, I ask them to respect the process. Another fact, my mother was a cook, for 1 year, and my sil is studying gastronomy. The situation. Sunday was the half-yearly dinner and I was the head as usual. Would help me, my sil, mother, aunt, and uncle. This would be Sil's first family dinner and she offered to help. During the preparation, my mother started to do several things wrong and every time I said something, she said something like stay calm, a wrong thing will not lead to anything. The problem is that she did so much wrong, skipping so many necessary steps in the food that most things I had to redo or give a second look. She continued to help even though I said it wasn't necessary. I broke down when I just commented something about steps with my sil and she corrected me. I was going to comment but my mother said I think you better cool off in the pool and let those with experience sort it out. I accepted, grabbed a glass of wine, the spree's heat with me and spent the whole day in the pool, ignoring when asked to come back. So, dinner was late, poorly seasoned, undercooked and no one had a second dish. My mother later said that I ruined dinner and humiliated our family in front of relatives in revenge. I shouldn't take that serious, because it was a silly family joke. BTW, I love making these dinners, and yes, my mother's sil behavior is common. AITA? Someone asked for examples of what she did wrong. She put too much salt on one of the meats and it was inedible. There had to be 10 of something for the food and she cut it in half because it was too much. It wasn't. She started to make rice very early, and we use the pan first for other food and the rice is last because it is the biggest and heaviest pan. My spreadsheet basically has the amounts and how long each cooking ingredient goes. I point out when they get the quantities wrong, too much or too little, or when they start making food that is for a long time before or after. Story 6. AITA for wearing my wedding ring to my sister's wedding against her wishes and hijacking her night. My sister, 29F, got married last Saturday. The ceremony was beautiful and I enjoyed myself as much as someone who is famously not a wedding guy could. The dramatics were not quite as enjoyable. I, 27M, hadn't seen my family in a few months, and we've only had a handful of phone calls over the course of those months. It's never on purpose that I pull one of these disappearing acts, it's mostly out of habit. I've been fiercely independent for most of my life and I get easily caught up in whatever I'm doing at the time that makes it hard for me to remember to keep those not in my direct line of sight in the loop. My mother is the same way. It's also nice visiting around times when big events like this are going on as my mom is prone to hovering whenever I'm home, and this takes some of the spotlight off me. I had been in Ireland around 8 months prior to flying in last Thursday. I was originally there to spend 2 weeks with my best friend who, thanks to the aforementioned one-track mindedness I possess, I had unfortunately grown apart from within recent years. Ours was a friendship that had started since we were 14 and was one of the most important relationships in my life for over a decade, and I wanted to put more effort into it so I didn't lose it. He was spending time overseas as to reconnect with his heritage since his father's passing, I was already traveling, and my stay obviously turned out to be a lot longer than 2 weeks. It also turned into us getting married. Funny how life works out. About 2 weeks before our trip to the States for my sister's wedding, I sent out a mass email to close family letting them know that me and my husband were married. I wanted to assuage any possibility of us stealing any thunder right from the get-go. My mom replied that she was hurt that she wasn't told sooner or allowed to be there, which I understood. It seemed her mood flipped by the time we met in person, however. Rehearsal dinner was on Friday, and that was where we all met up for the first time. My mom was overjoyed to see me and my partner and spent a large part of the night telling stories about she had always predicted there was something different about my friendship with him compared to others I was close with in high school. It was a very sweet moment. But at the end of the night, my sister pulled me aside and asked if we would not wear our wedding rings to her ceremony. I was confused, so I asked why. She said I was taking the attention off her and she was already bitter that I was hijacked her rehearsal dinner. More family might take notice if I wore my ring tomorrow and cause a similar incident. I refused. Like I mentioned before, the ceremony was beautiful but she didn't speak to me for the rest of the weekend and we ended up leaving the reception early. AITA? That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.